Let's go again! Yes, 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 yes. Hello. My name's James. If you're watching this video, you are getting a little peep into the world of me. Me. Because that's all I care about. It's not true. Me. Me. That's not all I care about. No, it is. No, it isn't. Anyway, today is another day. I'm going to pretend you already know that. We're on vlog number 26. That means I've done 26 days in a row recording a video every single day. There's been lots of interesting moments so far. There's been lots of weird and crazy moments. And both those things are exactly what I live for. And those are the things I love. I love weird and crazy. I love interesting. In fact, I think weird and crazy and interesting are exactly the same thing. Anyway, hi there. Nice to see you. Thanks for watching. Let's see what's going to happen today. I have no idea. I really don't. And I never do. It's always something different. It's about 1:05. It's like in the AM right now. Interesting fact. If you haven't listened to an album called AM, it's by the Arctic Monkeys, you should most definitely go away and listen to that album. It's a fantastic, fantastic record. There's some real great tracks on that one. Let's have a look. AM, Arctic Monkeys. I'll tell you what the tracks are, and you can see if you know any of them, right? If you're a big Arctic Monkeys fan and you're watching this, then you'll be like, do I know the tracks on AM? I know everything. Let's see here. Track listing. Here we go. Magic. Track number 1. Do I Want to Know? It's a good song. It's a great song. Track number 2. Are You Mine? Solid. Classic. Number 3. One for the Road. One for the road. Number 4, Arabella. It's Arabella. Oh, it's Arabella. She's not attracted to your mind and soul. She can't be sold. Track number 5, I Want It All. Oh, I love that one. The guitar in that one is like just so crunchy and groovy. Ding 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 ding. I need to learn the lyrics for every single one of these songs, and I'm gonna do a karaoke performance of every single track from the Arctic Monkeys album AM. Track number 6, number 1 party anthem. Number 1 party anthem. I love that one. Really good. Track number 7, Mad Sounds. They're all so good. Mad sounds in your ears makes you get up and dance. I love that. Track number 8, Fireside. I think Fireside and I Want It All, when I listened to them, I pictured like witches in the dark who were just like stirring up chaos and stuff like that. And I get a really witchy sort of feeling from this whole album. I think that's a lot of what I really liked about this record in particular. Was to me it sounds witchery. That's how I would describe it. Does that make sense? I have no idea. I should wait for a response before I just say it myself, right? Okay, so I'm just going to finish this off because I'm just running through the tracks. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's just what I'm doing, all right? So just shush. Um, yeah. Track number 9, Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High? That's probably one that most people know off this album, I would imagine. I mean, as well as Do I Want to Know? And maybe Arabella as well. I don't know. There's loads of good trods. Next one, track number 10, Snap Out of It. Snap out of it. I want to grab both your shoulders and shake you, baby. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. See that we left it too late, so baby, snap out of it. Snap out of it. My watch don't continue to spin, and the fat lady fancies having a spin. I'll be here waiting ever so patiently for you to snap out of it. What a great song. Track number 11, Knee Socks. Oh, I'm not going to be able to replicate that one. Anyway, it's great. It's great. It's great. And track number 12, I Want to Be Yours. See, so I've just gone through every track, and like, I am totally honest with the way I think about music and everything. It's like, if I opened up a record and I had a look through everything that was in there, I would for sure comment on like what I liked and what I disliked. And I wouldn't just say that I really liked it if I really didn't. And it's not very common to find a record where I'm like, have nothing bad to say. But for me, this, AM by the Arctic Monkeys, that's one of the perfect records. It's one of the ones that's up there for me with like, I've got nothing bad to say about this whatsoever. It's like every single song I personally think is very, 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 very well written. Plus the rest. You know what I mean? So, fair play to you. That's my little album review. AM, Arctic Monkeys. And I'll say 10 out of 10. I love the witchery. I love the witchy vibes. And the mood and the atmosphere and the feel of the record. It's like so brooding and like beautiful. I love it. So, great job. Arctic Monkeys in general, I think, are a fantastic band. But this is probably my number one record by the Arctic Monkeys, which I know a lot of people would have things to say about that. And, you know, whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. Obviously, banging. But by the time they reached AM, which I think was their fifth one. Was it their fifth one? Yeah, it's their fifth studio album, released in 2013. So by that point, they'd obviously developed their musical style a lot, and the Arctic Monkeys have done that way more than a lot of other bands have. It's hard to say that with much accuracy because it's quite hard. It's difficult to actually quantify like a band, like the development of a musical style. It's not really logical or analytical. It's more like down to individual perspective and like because it's organic. It's like how do you really measure that? I mean, there's no real way to do it, but basically the point I'm trying to make is that because they've come such a long way from where they started, like listening to whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not, and then listening to AM, it's such a huge change. But I can deal with the fact that I can deal with the idea that a band or a group of people could be that different from 5 years before to 5 years later. It's like, yeah, duh. What do you think happened in that 5 years? There's anyone who thinks like that someone should or would be the same in any way. I guess there are people out there who feel like they make no progress in their life and they never change. And for you, I think, if only you got to see the joys of what it is to not hold on so tightly to your personality and be willing to actually go in that direction that you'd like to and become the person that you actually want to be. Like, that's what I'm doing all the time. I'm not stopping to think about whether someone wants me to be who I am. It's just about, is that what I feel? Is that what I think? And I go, all right, okay. Looks like that's the way I'm going. It's like you have to, you got to follow your heart's desire, and it's not like you really have to decide to do that because you're already doing it. You know. I can't sleep, so to me, basically, can't sleep means don't sleep, and don't sleep means talk to you, tube. Wow, is that what I look like? I'm just laying here thinking about. I'm thinking about the moment of walking into the estate agents and be like, "Hey there, I'm looking to sell my house," and whilst I think it's a great idea, there's another part of me that's like, sell my house? Why would I want to do that? Where am I going to live? Because, you know, adventures in life sound really good in theory until you actually start on them. And then there's a part of you that's just like, I just want to go home. It's warm there. I can lie down. Do I have to go on an adventure? I don't like adventures. I just like being warm and comfortable. It's funny how complex we are. What does it mean? It means we don't know what we really want. We think we do, but we don't. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I heard from a reliable source that I'd live here for 10 years. So unless you do truly um, doubt the psychic prediction powers of Ganesha, then then that's what I was told. Uh, it's a good thought, really. Is like, I think it would be great to get out of here, but would it actually? Am I just craving something different? But which is like, yeah, I am. But could I just create that difference without going anywhere? That bit I'm not sure about. I need to see some better people. When I start seeing better people, I start thinking better thoughts. Better people make better places. They're just not for me. there's got to be a significant change for me to just be okay being here where I am. If I don't see it, then I'm not going to stop thinking what I'm thinking, which is it's time to go. It really is time to go. But I don't know. I really just think, like, if I was in London, I'd at least be like, well, I'm in London. But I'd probably just start complaining about the exact same thing, no matter where I am. So maybe, like, the thing that I've got to just... Maybe the thing that's got to become different is me. I'm not sure in what way. I do need other people to adopt and adapt. What it is they need to adopt and adapt, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that I could explain it. I mean, I could, and I have done before. I've done it in other videos, explained what it is that I feel so strongly that other people need to adopt and adapt. And I think it's like basically all that I've understood, all that I know. And that's quite an unreasonable ask to really think that other people should adopt that. Like, thinking about it, I would say you want people to know everything that you know. Are you sure about that? But then the other part of me is like, yeah, I do, because then they'd get me, and then it'd be all right, wouldn't it? Like, all your situations and surroundings are all right when they get you. It's when they don't that they're not. And I think it's because they're not me, so they don't get me. And maybe another part of it is like, I've been to all these places. I've done a lot with my life already. And they've not, they've just stayed in one place. So I'm like, well, maybe it's not me that needs to go elsewhere. Maybe it's them. And there might be something in that. But it's not to say that I don't also want to do it, because, I mean, just why not? Why not? Why not just pack up and just move? Why not? because I can if I want to. And if it turns out to be a mistake, then oh well. At least I did it. It's the result. The results are the results are never just going to be just great stuff, are they? Since when has anything you've ever done just been great in every way? Like, tell me one thing you've ever done where it's like, yeah, it was just all just was great. It's like, well, it's not really what happens most of the times. You have pros and cons for everything, right? So expecting that to just disappear because I've moved is what that's realistic. Ah, yes. If I move, then bad things will never happen ever again, and everything will be great. Well, I mean, I'm not convinced. So I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because I could just keep lying to myself in order to, you know, please my own like wish. What's the word? What's the word? Uh, to please my own delusional optimism, I could be like, yeah, it's so true. If I just move somewhere else, everything will be great forever. Well, what is the feeling that I have more than anything else is like, it's going to be interesting. And interesting doesn't mean good, doesn't mean bad. Kind of means like anything and everything, but it's interesting, you know? Like, I think things could go like pretty terribly wrong all of a sudden. It's like, well, this is definitely interesting. And then everything could be like super great, and you're like, wow, this is interesting. It's going so well. So, yeah, I know that I need to get rid of this idea of like, there should only be good in the world. And never any bad ever. Never, ever, ever. But I'm not quite sure if I want to do that because I don't want to stop believing that everything isn't going to be just fantastic. Because I really think it is, in a way. Even though I have so many totally reasonable doubts, I still think I'm not going to let I'm not going to let realistic attitude stop me from thinking incredibly positive, because it's so refreshing to just think super positive, and then it makes you like look forward to what's going to happen. Even if it's not what you think it's going to be, at least you still look forward to it, you know. At least you still look ahead and be like, can't wait, sounds great. You know, it rhymes. So yeah, I keep looking at the ceiling. So yeah, it would just be like a totally awesome, crazy experience. And I think in some ways, like, not pleasant or enjoyable, but necessary, possibly, definitely necessary. How do you really get change without upheaval? How do you really see improvement without difficulty? Um, you could, you can, but is it likely that you're going to? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I know nothing. You know, maybe miracles do happen. Maybe there's untapped potential in out there that I have not yet fully understood that can be found. Maybe there's more brilliance than I thought was available. It's possible, isn't it? Of course it is. Is it realistic? No. But maybe it's time to stop being so realistic. Maybe it's time to start being totally, completely unrealistic in a way that's just unreasonable. And just, how about we just see what happens if you dare to dream and dare to dream big and then just go for it? What if everything works out perfectly? What about that? Why can't that happen? You know what the answer is? It can. You know what the other answer is? After it can, it will. How about that? How about that for a change of heart? What if everything's just all right? Not just all right. Perfect. Great. Better than all right. Better than great. Better than perfect. It's possible. Is it probable? Maybe. See how I just reactively just go back to being realistic, quote unquote. Realistic. What does that mean? Realistic means uh, unable to see magical potential for an unending brilliance. It's all possibilities are possible. That's why it's called a possibility. And you could look at the other side, and you could go on and on and on in that direction if you wanted to. I don't want to. Do you want to? I don't. I want to stay on this side. It seems to be working for me so far. I'm feeling pretty good about everything. So if that was like not true and I was just, you know, capping, then I would just admit that to myself and to the viewers. Like, I would just say it like, yeah, I try to be really positive, but to be honest, it's all bullshit, and I'm just lying to myself in order to try and hide my true feelings. I would quite happily admit that. It's just not the case. I am sincerely just thinking so positive, and I'm not going to stop because there's no harm in it whatsoever. Not only is it good for me, it's good for you, it's good for everyone. I think collectively it would be hugely beneficial to see more positivity out there. People saying, I think we can make all of our dreams and goals and ambitions a reality. I mean, yeah, they have to be good goals, but I'd say, you know what? If you're gonna aim for something, aim high, right? Be as unrealistic as possible. You might find out how unrealistic you're being, but at least you dared to dream. And those who do not dare to dream will only ever achieve any kind of success through chance and chance alone. So you can leave it up to Lady Luck, or you can do a DIY. But if you're going to DIY, Try and build something bigger than there's ever been built before. But just don't fuck it up. So maybe don't do that. I might not be giving the best advice out here. I don't know. I'm to some degree I'm just repeating cliches that I've absorbed somehow. But you know, I'm not gonna self-crucify for becoming a walking, talking replica of a cliche. It's definitely worth at least trying to let some more of the positivity in, because it's there. It's just that you have a mind that gets in the way and says, hang on a second, I've got something to say about that. So you just have to hear that and just go, oh, okay. And then just go back to looking on the bright side, you know? Because I miss the bright side. That's me. Damn. I can't stop eating cheese toasties. They're so good. But I'm gonna have to stop now. Because I've eaten all the cheese. I ain't got no cheese left to eat. Damn. Better go get some more from the shop. When the shop's open. It's gosh darn. Okay. It's 3 a.m. at the moment. Wait. Is it 3 a.m.? Oh my gosh. It's 3:44 a.m. I can't believe it. Holy shit balls. How have I managed to stay awake all frickin' night? I have no idea. I'm crazy. I don't know what to do now. I don't know. I don't know. Short and sweet. Sweet and short. Keeping it short and sweet. Sweet and short. I should be keeping it sweet and short. Short and sweet. I should be keeping it street, baby. Street, street, street. Street and sweet. Sweet, sweet, street. Street and sweet. Keeping it sweet, keeping it street. Street, street, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Keeping it sweet, keeping it street. Short and sweet, sweet and street. On the beat. Mr. Beat. Mr. Beat on the beat. Eat. Eat. Go to the street. Eat a sweet. Keeping it short. Keeping it sweet. On the street. Street and sweet. Sweet that street. Sweet that sweet. Sweet that sweet. Sweet that sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Street, street, street. What a treat. Bang, bang. Ding. Diggy, 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 bum. Music. Squingo, squango, pingo, pango, ping, 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 pong. Bum, diddy, diddy, bum, bim, bam, bum. Biggy, wiggy, ding, dong, biggy, diggy, dum. Blam, dibby, 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 jim, jam, jim. Jimmy, dibby, dibby, dong, ding, dang, dim. Flum, flicky, licky, ding, ding, dong, poo. Ribby, dibby, dibby, ding, jing, jang, ju. Bum, chaka, chaka. Bum, chaka, chaka. Flacka, daka, ding, dong, ping, pang, poo.
Yeah, that Amazon show is
I don't know what I'm doing.
Our YouTube channel is a lot. You know, one of the Amazon episodes is probably like
My YouTube videos
5 times
suck.
more expensive than my most expensive YouTube video. I mean, that's like.
But I'm not gonna stop making them.
I not per every episode. I just
'Cause I like it.
It's crazy, but it's like so all these ideas I've had sitting in my head for a very long time. I
You know,
do, right? Like I want to
my
just give away
my
an island in an
personality
episode for this cool little thing. We can do it. We
sucks,
want to build a city
right?
so we can blow it up. We can do it. You know, you want to do
Uh,
this? We can do it. It's like it's
but
awesome.
I'm not gonna stop
Really, money is
having a personality.
It's, you know, phenomenal country. And then that's why the Asian country. We've been.
It's 9 a.m. I can't believe it. It's Monday. That would mean that I should be doing something, anything, but I'm not, because I'm me, and I just don't, and I just won't. What I will do is this: talk to my camera, talk to YouTube. So the award for weirdest toasty ever goes to this toasty. Inside it has rice and sweet corn and butter. It's not great. However, me having an appetite upon awakening is great. So I can always celebrate that. I might do an absolute classic me, which is go back to sleep again. Reason being, because I can, because I'm free to do so. Reason being, because nobody else makes my decisions but me. Reason being that I live my life and I've got nothing stopping me from doing what I want to do. So that means I can sleep as much as I want. And it doesn't mean anything at all. All it means is that I'm tired enough to sleep. Does that mean that I should attempt to medically diagnose myself with some sort of mineral deficiency? Possibly. But I should also understand that it's quite common that when you first get up, you feel tired. And when you feel tired, you feel like sleeping. So when you first get up, you feel like going back to sleep. Of course, that is very normal. Not unusual whatsoever, but for some reason I try to tell myself that that must be some kind of sign of something more, and it must be unusual and also much more serious than it seems. Which that's just the typical overreaction to any kind of feeling or thought that a person gets who has unreasonable, paranoid delusions about their health. So yeah, that is me. And yeah, I will feel in all kinds of different ways. And no, that doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of me being in any way unusual, quote unquote. I think it's not unusual. It's not unusual. Now, I do ration to just be whatever it is that you are. It's definitely not unusual to be tired. It's definitely not unusual to not be so enthusiastic about working, especially in the period of time shortly after awakening. So, I think I get a perfectly regular amount of sleep. If anything, I didn't get that much sleep last night because I stayed up until, I don't know, like 5 a.m. It's now like 10. So I only had 5 hours. So if you're going to look at hours, then I don't think I've had much. But really, I'm just trying to convince myself that there's nothing wrong with me. Which I don't think there is. I think I'm absolutely fine. I don't think there's any issue with me whatsoever. And I'm not trying to pretend that I'm anything else nowadays. I'm just going, yep, I'm tired. Oh shit, look at my tongue. See those two dots? I can properly feel those. Must be from talking so much on the camera. I'm making real good progress anyway with my actual job that I've given myself, which is this. Doing my YouTube video. I'm making so much progress, I have to give myself some kind of praise. Instead of trying to bring myself down by thinking that I'm not good enough. Because I'm not immediately full of energy when I wake up every single day. Which, like I've just said, is obviously incredibly normal. So why do my unreasonable expectations tell me that I should, whatever that means, I should, quote unquote, just get up every day after minimal sleep and just be completely full of energy and just ready to, like, go to work. Whatever that even means. I don't have a work to go to. If I had a work to go to, quote unquote, it would be this. It's just making this YouTube video. That's my work. Got some more sleep. Woke up. Still feel terrible. Had a dream that my mum lives in New York and I was staying with her at her flat. I think I had the dream before. It's now 11:30 a.m. I gotta do something with my day. Same as before. I don't know what, apart from make this video. Only other thing I can think of doing is like look on Indeed, apply for jobs, or put up the furniture for sale on Facebook. I don't know what to do. I need to wake myself up. I'm not good. I gotta do something about it. I just feel like I'm in pain, even though I'm not. I'm moving to New York 'cause I got problems with my sleep. I don't know what to do. I'm not suicidal. I just don't have the enthusiasm for life. It's funny how that can come and go. But I would never lie. If I'm just not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. But you know what? I think I've stopped trying to blame it on anything or anyone and just started to say, yeah, that's how I feel right now. But it always changed before, so it'll probably just change again. And if anything, it's quite obvious to me that that's just how you feel just after you wake up. You don't feel great. You don't feel so enthusiastic about life in general. You're just tired. And if you're tired, you're grumpy. I remember at one point in my life, I decided I was going to move to New York. And the reason I decided that was because I was watching Casey Neistat's videos. And I was so inspired by his life that I was like, I'm going to do that. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do that. But I knew why I was going to do that. Or at least give it a go. I ended up going to New York for a short amount of time. From London, which is where I lived at the time. And then that was kind of it. I didn't follow through with it. I didn't live there. And I'm not there now. I think what I really wanted to do wasn't move to New York. It was embrace the kind of excitement that Casey seemed to have about life. And that was while he was doing his daily videos. So I think I found that now, since I just started doing daily videos. But damn, it took a long time to get there. I don't know why I didn't just buy a vlog camera then and just start talking. I don't think I was able to. Something was stopping me. But boy, do I wish it didn't. I really wish things had gone differently to the way they did. But you know what? Once those times are gone, they're gone. So there's no point dwelling on it. And I should only really focus on today. I'm saying that word again, should, as if there are shoulds. There are no shoulds, but I just coming from a personal place of the way I feel about myself. I can only be honest. I think what it was that was so inspiring about Casey's vlogs and like my idea of New York that I got through that was that New York is this hard-working place where people just go, 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 go. And they're super creative. I mean, that was just the way Casey was. Obviously, that's not the way everybody is. But maybe they are sometimes, they're not other times. But yeah, I really have to say, I took massive inspiration from Casey Neistat. And I remember a point where I just watched his vlogs continuously, one after the other. And that was all I wanted to do. So, he must have done something right. He has actually a few times managed to sort of lift me out of some kind of depression. Just through his ethos and his creativity and his hard work, and that being what he shared, and me feeling a kinship to him in some way. So, thanks to Casey Neistat. I appreciate the guy, and it's probably why I'm doing this. I've got to stay up now. There's no flipping way that I can go back to sleep again. That was reckless of me to even go back to sleep again the first time. It's now already 11:44. But I am really going to have to find the energy to do something. I don't just have it. I get up and then I just sit here and I got nothing. I got nothing in the tank. I got zero. I'm empty. Empty, empty, empty. So, what the heck am I going to do? I got coffee. It tastes like shit. Not literally. It's just you take a big gulp of that stuff and it's so disgusting to even drink it. But I guess the more disgusting it is to drink, the more powerful the effect. That's my working theory anyway. Is that the reason it wakes you up is because it's so bitter. It makes sense to me. Like, why doesn't water wake you up? I mean, maybe it does, but it doesn't seem to. But taste it. It's just like, yes, nice refreshing water. Whereas if you just drink coffee, no sugar, no milk, it's like, ugh, fuck. But it gets you going. Damn. I am actually genuinely already thinking again about getting back into bed, as if that's a good idea. It's not a good idea whatsoever. Unless it is a good idea. Maybe I should, like, adopt a new strategy, which is, if I have a good enough reason to get out of bed, then I probably will. And if I don't, maybe there's no reason to bother. Is that bad? I mean, I don't really believe in such strict concepts as good and bad when it comes to innocent behaviours that affect nobody else. Like, just sleeping. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I guess it's the way that I've been conditioned to think that, like, it's a shameful thing to want more sleep. And the reason for that is because you have to be a hard worker to make your family proud. You know what? That all comes from the past life. And I've already figured that shit out. I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm going to state the claim here. That's not me. I'm not that guy. And who I am now, I think, is a guy. No, actually, let's not say a guy. Right now, I am someone that is going to do whatever they want to do. So it's, you know, the way that the concept of other people's judgment appears to us is just imaginary. And it's not connected to anything that's actually there. But the reason it's there as an imaginary object is because there were people there at one point who were the judges who did say negative things, you did give negative reactions. And then that trains the mind to create an object of a thought pattern that relates to that person's opinions and ideas. And then you try to live in accordance with those as if they're the rules of life or the right moral framework, which they're not, you know? What I realise now is that they're just ideas that are created out of a desire to control. And the reason is to try to keep up a continued slavery. Like, no, you're not allowed to sleep. You have to get up and work. Like, well, okay, well, are you gonna, I have to. Really? What? Even if I don't want to? Yes, you have to. Okay, well, that's slavery, right? The idea that that's a moral attitude that is being applied for the sake of being a good person. That's the pressure. Oh, I gotta answer some kind of robotic voice. I just hung up. But yeah, the idea that I should be a slave to someone else comes from this past life experience in which that was what was happening, and I'm not doing it anymore. The reason I'm not doing it anymore is because I don't have to. It's because I don't want to. And I wish the person that was trying to still force me to think the way I'm supposed to would actually realise what they're doing, where it's coming from, and how it's affecting me. And I wish they would leave me the fuck alone. Because it's actually starting to reach the point where it's pissing me off now. I'm not that person anymore. But that past life is still leaking into this life. And even though I know that, and I remember that, and I'm aware of that, the other fucking idiot isn't, because he's too stupid to realise. I want the fucking prick to leave me alone. Stop acting like he still has any right to tell me what to do at all, which he doesn't, and he never did. He never did have that right. It's like now that actual slavery has been abolished, then it's obviously common knowledge that that's not right to do that. But this fucking idiot needs to wake up and remember what exactly happened. I'm just going to keep repeating this until I break the bonds. I don't need to work. I don't need to do anything. I shouldn't feel guilty for saying that. I shouldn't feel guilty for thinking that. It's not wrong. There's no issue with anything that I just said. I'll tell you why. Here's why. If someone says, I don't want to work, that's their right to feel that way. The reason they feel that way is because they're tired and they need rest. And they're only talking about that specific moment right there and right then. They're not talking in general. They're not talking about years or weeks or months or any decades or anything, or forever and forever. This is how fucking stupid your way of thinking is. You have no fucking concept that someone could say something and it's just applicable to right now. How fucking obvious is that? It seems pretty obvious to me. But this fucking stupid cunt doesn't understand. Right, so it's like this. I don't want to work. What? You don't want to work forever? What the fuck are you talking about, dickhead? Forever? What are you talking about? I was just saying I don't want to work. I'm talking about now. You fucking idiot. Shut up. Okay. I fucking hate this guy. That's what everyone thinks about him, because he's a fucking cunt. Hate him. So, yeah, this prick is not making me or anyone do anything. The reason for that is because no one is going to listen to him. Whenever he asks anyone to do anything, they all just go, no, go away, fuck off. You're a prick. If you don't understand why, it's because you're a fucking idiot. Think about it, dickhead. Here's another piece of stupidity that I'd like to address. It's not lazy to be tired. Like, that is so obvious. How stupid do you have to be to think that? If you're tired, it's because you're lazy. Don't even know what that means. No, if you're tired, it's because you're like everybody else and you get tired. Including the fucking retard that could say something as stupid as that. I'm really pissed off this morning after waking up. It's now midday. I'm thinking about this fucking prick from my past life. I'm just looking forward to when I don't have to think about him ever again. If that's ever possible. Why does anyone ever have to be like feeling as though they're being tortured by their own thoughts in the way that they just don't seem to go away? And it's the thoughts and the memories of a specific person at one point It just like fills you with like a rage or a hatred. Just hate that person so much. It's not that I want to hurt them or anything. It's just that I've just feel this hatred towards them. Just because of who they are, how they act. If someone was nice and good, then I wouldn't feel that way, would I? If I hate them, it must be because there's good reason to. It's hard to deny the feeling exists. And I have no interest in lying about how I feel. You only have to lie to protect yourself when there's a threat. But that does not do anything good for you or your body at all. To harbour resentments and also to lie about it, it just creates. If there's anything that's like going to make you tired, it'll be that. Oh, that's going to deplete your energy for sure. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to sit here. I just want to lay down again. Why am I stopping myself? Because I'm still thinking it matters. Does it matter? I don't know. I don't know is better than yes or no. At least right now. I've got to get all these thoughts out. How do I do that? Just say them. That seems to be the way to do it. There's no one here even listening. It's not like I have to keep up appearances with an audience. And it's not like I even would if I had one. I'd just be the exact same. It's not a YouTube video. It's a therapeutic way for me to relieve myself of the burden of my mind. And that's all it needs to be. I don't want it to be anything else. I'm happy for it to be that. I'm not happy, but I've accepted it. I don't need to think about anyone. I don't need to think about anyone. I don't need to think about what anyone thinks. I don't even need to think about what I think. But I do, and I will. I do think about what I think because I'm me. So you might not think that I should think about what I think. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop thinking. Because how could I? Why would I? Too many people got too many opinions. They need to go away. They need to go away. And switch on. Because they're not doing that. They're switched off. But they're going, well, I'm doing this right. And that means you must not. What's that all about? What an immature way to think. Just hear it, smile, nod, and say, that's interesting. Or don't do that. You know what? Don't do that. But don't do what I say. Don't do what anyone says. My opinion doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. And my opinion on your opinion, it doesn't even matter. Do you know how quick it becomes something that both of us just go, oh, whatever, I don't even care. And it's as if people think opinions are important. If opinions were important, why do you just keep forgetting what you even think? That's my only ever goal now. Make a video. It's quite hard to accomplish because when I watch it back, I go, this is not quite what I was trying to do. It's better than that. I stopped thinking like, oh, there needs to be a bunch of shit that's happening. Because there doesn't. There doesn't need to be any of that. There just needs to be this. That's it. Whatever it is, that's alright. As long as it is what it is, then it's okay. If it's not, it is what it is, then it's not okay. But it's okay that it's not okay, you know? I've definitely lost some of that possibility. I mean, positivity that I had last night. That's good. That was too much. I'd like to find like a little bit more of that again, just towards this, like being in a shop, talking. That's that. Because I'm starting to tell myself again at this point that it's like, this is not enough. It needs to be more than this, and I have to come up with loads of great ways to improve this video. And none of that's true. It is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to be anything, and I never have been. So I'm not about to start now changing that just because these thoughts are flying around in the air. They're not even my thoughts, they're just random stuff, but I guess I'm only trying to respond to it because it's like, well, that's there. And if it's in the hallway or if it's out on the street, I mean, where's it coming from? Who's placing that there? It's all these people, they're just circulating all these ideas, and it's becoming what is being spread around, and it really is like an infectious disease. It's not good, but people think they're clever in doing so, but they're not aware of the potential consequences at all. I can see that very easily because I've already been aware of all these different like air sort of. Hang on. Yeah, what I was saying was that I'm already aware of all these different air dimensions that other people just accept as like that's what it is. Aware of the air. Aware. 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 Aware of the air. Consciousness is aware of the underwear, the air. It's funny how when I move to a different room, I get a different felt sense of what is going on completely. It's that kind of thing that makes me start to believe like maybe there is something to this feng shui stuff. I really do feel it quite a lot. Is like just moving to a different room can really change exactly what I'm thinking. That's quite interesting, isn't it? I completely forgot what I was talking about, although I was having quite interesting thoughts that I sort of wanted to explain further. After coming down into the living room, I've now completely forgotten. So that's interesting, and why is that? Maybe I should walk around back into other rooms and see if those thoughts come back, or if they're just gone. I was connecting to some idea of concept, and it was to do with the way that people's ideas seem to float about, and they're there for others to work with. But ultimately, I guess, transform into new concepts. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. It's all just for the sake of the camera, because I'm not going to stop doing this. Now that I've found a purpose, I'm not going to just stop. Oh man, just had a scare. I really genuinely thought I just broke my camera because I dropped it and then it started doing things that I've never seen it do before. Anyway, I was just thinking that I'm not going out anywhere literally ever again unless the car pulls up outside and someone will wait for me and then they'll take me wherever it is that I have to go. Otherwise, I'm not walking anywhere. I'm not getting on the train. I'm not getting on a bus. I'm only now going anywhere if my chauffeur takes me there. And there's a reason to go there, a good reason. Because I've got no good reasons to do anything right now. I really don't. Which is becoming more and more interesting for me to say, because it seems like I'm just emptying out the rubbish, and that's good, because you have to empty out the rubbish, don't you? And then what happens when you empty out the rubbish? It's like now you can create some more rubbish, but there must be grades of rubbish. There must be some rubbish that's better than other rubbish. Just like the way that there's a better everything. like there's a better coffee. Just like that. There's better rubbish. So I keep just now playing with my voice, and that's done me so many wonders. But I have to keep like actively engaged in the thought process of getting into these new places, and it's making sense makes sense, which it doesn't a lot of the time. Making sense doesn't make sense a lot of the time, not to me. But I try to sometimes make sense out of making sense, and then quickly just say I shouldn't even bother, because it just ends in me going back to what I was already doing anyway, which is not trying to do anything. It's just like looking at the words and then just saying what comes. Oh, I've not read for a few days because I felt more like going out and about and like hanging out and talking a lot. And it's been good. Well, I don't see the progression anymore. And is there even going to be one? Or should there even be one? It's not like a forcible thing that you can put into action, is the concept of progression. It's really looking back that you see a progression. Whereas when you're in it, you're just in it. So, you know what? It's like the famous Ram Dass said, is just the present moment is everything. Why focus on that which is not here right now? It's so much better when you're just here. But that doesn't mean you're not able to conceptualize anything more. I think the idea is just that it's where do you draw your thoughts from? They have to be here, because no matter where you think you're going to go or decide you're going to go to, you always start off in the same place in terms of how you describe it. Saying here, whether you're anywhere at all in the world, if you're there, then it's here. So I'm really just waiting now for like the big money bankers to show up, and then they start telling me what they think, and then they start making moves, and then shit starts working out, and then hang on. And then at that point, like, all this childishness just starts to pay off, and it all works out, and I get what I want, and then it's a new life, but it's no different to the one I already have. So I've already been surrounded by all that. I sat there and I heard everything I needed to hear, and they've gone away and done the work, and they know who they are, and now it's all gone
to that place again, which is just taking away all of this stuff. And they've done that time and time again until it's like that concept is taken away. And then who's that? It's just this sense of like there's just I think I broke my camera already. I just dropped it once earlier. It was just like a tiny little drop. Now when I open it, it doesn't open properly. Okay, it's not broke. I just managed to fix it. I just had to recalibrate it. Apparently, if you drop it, that could be what happened. Anyway, so I've had such a bad day. I've just been sleeping all day. Like it's 3:45 p.m. now. I went back to sleep twice after getting up. Just because I didn't feel good. My tongue has got these two things on it. I'm not sick or anything. At least I don't think I am. I just don't know what to do. So, for that reason, I'm not doing anything. The only thing I'm doing is recording parts of my YouTube video. And even that, I'm thinking, do I even want to do that? Because I think, well, I got nothing to say. Well, the evidence suggests that that isn't true. Clearly. Because I've got plenty to say as I'm saying it. So I guess I just have to realise that that's incorrect. And that's just called an irrational thought. But I do think I should be contributing more to my YouTube videos. But I also feel like I gave a pretty good speech earlier on near the beginning of the video. And since then, it's just been a bit uninteresting. Although it has been interesting, I'm sort of like now constantly like ranking mentally how good I think the video is going throughout the day. But then when I even say that out loud, I realise that it doesn't matter to me. It's not going good. It's not going anything. But it is going. Meaning I am doing it. I'm continuing to do it. And I'm not going to stop. Not anytime soon, because this has become the one thing that makes just being inside something that I even actually like to do. So I don't need to do anything at all. I'm allowed to have thoughts. I'm allowed to share those thoughts. I'm allowed to have opinions. I allow myself all of that. I'm just remembering some of the dreams I had. I don't think I'm going to talk about any of them. So, I don't know. Right now, I don't want to go back to sleep. I'm okay now. Being up and talking to the camera. I think the question is, like, where is it I want to be? Where there's something in it for me. And that's what I keep thinking about more than anything. That was why I wanted to go to sleep again. Because I felt like, oh, it's just going to be nice again to switch off for a bit. And it really, certainly was very nice to switch off for a bit. I was not wrong in thinking that at all. But now I'm back on. And I know that I don't have to go anywhere to make a good video. It can just be me talking to the camera. It can just be that. And I've got books to read here if I run out of things to say. So I can just do that. And that's the only plan that I have at any point ever. It's just that I talk to the camera about whatever it is I'm thinking about and whatever it is that I want to. And if at any point I don't have anything to say to the camera, then I'll read from one of the books that I have instead. But I guess that means that I'm now just deciding to be on camera all the time. Literally all the time, which I'm not. And I think it's that I have to really figure out what it is I want to do now when the camera's not on. Because now it's become this thing where it seems like this is the only thing that seems or feels worthwhile doing. And then if I feel like switching this off, then I'm not sure exactly what to do. And it would be good if there was something to do when I switch this off that was even better than doing this. So that I'm incentivized to switch this off. Because although I want to do this and I want to make a video, I also think like an hour a day worth of video is more than enough. And I now know that I can do a lot more than that because I have. So if I want to, I will. But if I don't want to, then I gotta think about what it is that I do want to do when there's no camera. And I really don't know if I have enough going on in that way. And I really think I need a lot more options. But and then I've got to settle on the ones that I think are good, and then keep doing them. I guess I do that. I just think that when I turn the camera off, I think to myself, well, I should go out now because I've been in for so long. But then I also really just question, what's even the importance in going out? Will that change anything about how I feel? Or not? And even now, I think I've come to think like, am I even trying to change anything about how I feel? And the answer is becoming more and more no. I've noticed that happening a lot. Is that I'm not trying to think of how anything should be any different to the way it is. I'm now just explaining it, but not thinking like I need to change it. It's just like explaining it is the relief. So yeah, I'm always the kind of person that feels like everything's got to work out exactly just the way that I think it will, or in some other great way. But it's not going to be through any effort of any kind. It's just that it just happens, and it just happens because it's meant to happen. And when it happens is the time that it happens. And that means like I'm not really trying to do anything. I'm not really trying to change anything that's happening. Even though I'll talk about it, like I'm not okay with the way it is. I also think like it's all okay. And I know that it's everything I want to find is inside me. I just have to get to it. So this whole process has really helped me get to what it is that's somewhere there in the mix of mind, and then it comes out, and then that filters through to everything else and kind of makes it all okay. So I'm not looking for this like strong-minded approach to making anything happen anymore. I'm not interested in that now. I was at one point. I'm not anymore. It has like a time and a place where you get on board with it. And I guess you have to, because you have to sort of like break free from misery. And that means like making the necessary choices to get out of it. And I think that takes that kind of feeling. But as far as I know, that's not something you can manufacture artificially or something you can try to will into creation. It just kind of appears when it appears. And if you've not got it in any moment, then I would say it must be because you don't need it in that moment. And so trying to like conjure it up in order to resurrect old feelings is it's just not going to work. Yeah, you got to roll with it. And that means whatever you feel or think or whatever, there's got to be only one option at any time. Maybe it is possible to just like switch it on when you need it or when you want it. I'm talking about like having like a motivated state of mind. Possibly it is. Maybe it is possible to just switch that on. If it is, then I'm not aware of it. And I'm not even sure that I want to do that. I don't want to be unhappy. And so if that's the solution, then maybe I would like that. But if it's too strong, it's just out of control. It's not pleasant, right? It's like making a coffee that's got too much coffee in it. Like it's too strong. So you taste it and it's like it makes you like you have a revulsion towards something that's too strong. And I guess some people might say to that, like, well, it's not too strong to me. It's just too strong to you. And maybe that's true. And maybe there's a time where it's not too strong for me, and it's too strong for them. So people act like, you are only who you are in the present moment. But then they forget all the other times when they weren't like that. Which you have to have an awareness of those in order to be a considerate person. Otherwise, you'd only think about how you feel right now. And then you wouldn't consider that other people's feelings had any validity because they differed to your own. But if you obviously know that you felt different ways before, then you remember that, and then you allow other people to just be however they are. Because why wouldn't you? So, I don't think I'm going out anywhere now. But I don't think I'm too happy about that. It doesn't seem like there's much going on here in this house that is very good. And I'm really not sure what to do about that, if anything. There's just nothing that good going on anywhere. I mean, me talking to this thing is pretty good. So maybe I should just try to keep this going. But right now, this cam has only got 5%. So I'm going to have to cut and then charge this up for a bit. And then get back on it. Charged up the cam again. While it was charging, I ended up, again, lying down in my bed, thinking. I was actually listening to that song in my head, which is actually called Good in Bed. I know it might be bad, diddly, messing with my head. Diddly, we drive each other mad. Diddly, that's what makes us good in bed. And I was in bed. Was I good in bed? I think I was. I can't just stay in forever, can I? It's obviously not a good idea. I need to go out and live life. Everybody else is doing it. And you know what? I retract what I said before. I do have to make the effort to try and I don't know, find work or something. If I put it into the context of doing it right now, then I'm like, yeah, I want to do that, but later, like not right now. Because I'm doing this video. And I don't want to stop. But yeah, maybe I have to accept that it's like, it's not just going to happen, is it? Of course it's not. I have to actually do something to make it happen, or to try to make it happen. It's not that I can make it happen, although I can if it all goes to plan. But I can definitely try to make it happen. And it's not going to happen if I don't try to make it happen. See what I'm saying? I might not be able to make it happen, but I can try to make it happen. But am I going to sit here right now and look for jobs on the internet? I don't think so. But the reason for that is that I'm still thinking that because I'm not loving this house, that I'm going to shift it and get another one somewhere else. So what would be the point in getting a job anywhere close to here? There's not anywhere close to here that I like anyway. I don't like any of it. I just don't like it. It's not a good place. There's really not a lot that's any good going on. If there was, I mean, if I like connected all the patterns and put them all together and made this shift in the consciousness, there'd be much better choices in this area. So I could stick around to just be that, but I'm not making money from doing that. Not as far as I know. I've not figured out a way to do that yet. There might be a way to do that. Maybe it will work out. I'll definitely keep doing the YouTube videos in order to see how that affects everything. But I will more than likely move because I feel like whatever shift it is in the consciousness can take place from afar after having already seen all that is around and knowing what it is that is needed to make it better. That's quite obvious to me. I can see that. But I don't want to be here. So I think the question is like, where do I want to be? And I'm not sure about that either. There has to be somewhere that's like, quote unquote, home base. Because you got to go back to, you know, a bed and your clothes. I could like just stay in shorter term options, and that is absolutely my preference. But it's not realistic to keep doing that, at least not with the current budget. So I've either got to increase the budget, which means increase the earnings, which obviously I say I have to do that, but I can only try to do that. And I'm not sure how to try to do that. I'm not sure that I want to try to do that because of what it involves, having to then get a job in this area, which I don't want to do because I don't like this area. There could be the possibility of a job that I might decide would be worth doing in this area if it was very specifically met to my way of thinking and was contributing even more to this way of thinking and allowed me to develop that further, then there could be a chance. But I know already that the way I think is much more prevalent in other places in the country. And so I'd be better off being there, because at least I'd be on an even footing before I even started to try to find an opportunity, and I would be much more wanting to get an opportunity there, thinking that's the place I would want to stay anyway. So all these questions together mean inactivity. I'm not doing anything, because I've either got to get out of here or I've got to stay. But there's no chance of me staying at all. It's just not going to happen. I don't want to, so I'm not going to. But that means that I really have to start to do what it's going to take to get out of here. But I don't want to do that either. So that's where I'm left. That's where I'm left with inaction. And you know what, I'm good with that. That's where it goes more often than not. It's like everything cancels each other out. Then you end up back at the beginning. That's great, I think. Now I have to think how to think again. And I've got to rework the programming to find something that works. It's so obvious. I'm not supposed to be the person that you think I am. And I'm so glad that I'm not. I'm so glad that I'm not that person. Because I really do not want to be you at all. I do not want to be like you in any possible way. You're not my role model. You're not the person I look up to. I have no respect for you whatsoever. So, if I was going to go out now, where would I go? I don't know. I'd probably go to the shop and buy a beer, just to chill me out a bit. I'm pretty anxious and agitated, which is, it's like a form of energy, which is good. But yeah, I think a beer would do the trick. I'm not going to go do that though, because I don't need to, and I don't really want to. I'd way rather sit here and talk to this camera. I'm not interested in going on a computer. There's nothing interesting on there. Not that I know of. I'm really just focused in on this. People really misinterpreted how all these things are said. Hang on. I'm going back to making crappy vlogs because because well, you see why it's crappy. I ain't even got shit to say. I got nothing to say. That's what I got. Nothing. Just laying in bed. I was thinking about all sorts of just ideas about the way people think and the way they talk and what it all means, if anything. And I think I've realised that it's just like always, it just means nothing, you know? It's like it's sadistic people want to scare other people, and they think they can do that by going for like reputation destruction. But I think what they miss is that people know and recognise what is good very intuitively. And it's the narcissism of the negatives that deludes them into thinking that there's anyone else who does think like them at all, which is not. It's just them. And even then, what they think is so destructible. You know, something that can just vanish in a second. Oh, Jesus. That was a grim fart. Did you hear that? Terrible. Well, I'm absolutely running out of things to say. I think that means it's not long before I have to get up and go out and do something. What it is that I'm going to do, I have no idea. Probably not going to do anything. It's just a thought. In order to convince myself that it's worth going anywhere, I have to believe that there's something out there that I want, that I don't have here. Now, I can think of a couple things that I do want from out there, and I'll tell you what they are. It's some cheese, and some beer. But even though I may want those things a little bit, I don't really want them enough to actually bother going anywhere. I just don't go anywhere anymore. Not without a pretty good reason. And also, I only really like going out first thing in the morning. Or at least when it's light. It's not so bad when it's dark. It's usually pretty calm. But right now, it's just not my preference at all. It's the 2nd of February. It's still pretty cold out there. It was yesterday. So that's it. I'm here again. Not good. It's not going great. I can't lie. I can make it better. For sure. 100%. It's not hard. It's very quick to go from I'm not doing great to better than ever. Oh, it's so doable. I don't even have to think about that. That's not even a thing. Yeah. I think I need some more interaction, probably. But like actual interaction instead of just interaction with the thoughts of what might be thought or what is thought. I guess that's just like reading the psychic data and then preemptively responding. It's not even preemptive really, because it's not clear as to what time it is that I'm going to. But it's definitely responding to the psychic data. Psychic data to me just means people's thoughts and the way that they're made up by patterns. So it's just like seeing patterns and then describing them and then responding to them with insight. It's kind of like a work that can be done. It kind of like a work that can be done like in this way is just think about what you think about, talk about what you think about, put it on camera, put it on the internet, and then people can interact from there if they happen to see it, which they don't. They don't see it. Not my videos, at least. I'm okay with that. I'm still going to keep making them because I don't care. It's not about that. It's not about making any sort of impact at all on anything or anyone. I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm not doing it for a reason. Not one that I want to tell you anyway. I don't need to tell anyone anything, do I? I can keep all of my reasoning to myself as personal and private. It's it's quite annoying the way that people expect you to give up your ideas for them. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. Ever. It's just not me. I'm not that kind of person. I don't have that inside of me. And it's crazy to me to think that people could possibly think that I'm like that at all. When I'm so far from that kind of person. But that's okay. They don't have to know how nice I am. They'll maybe one day they'll realize, but I don't need them to. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. I'm really not. I actually don't care. Like, people are free to see me the way they want to. And what am I going to do about it? It's nothing. I don't, but the reason I'm not going to do anything is because it doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't. I don't think about it that much. I really don't. And if I ever do, I just kind of see it as a waste of time. I've talked about it before in these videos about, like, how do you respond to the way other people's ideas of you exist if you think they're not true. And I think the answer to that is just don't respond to them. Don't need to. So, man, I'm so incredibly reluctant to do anything apart from literally just talk to this camera. But it's reaching the point where I'm feeling like I've had enough of this and I've got to go do something else. But I just don't want to, so I'm not going to. And I really do fear that means I'm just going to be here, just sad. I don't want to be sad. So maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't even know how to work this all out as like a thought process. There must be a way. There must be a place that you finally reach after working through all of your thought processes where it all comes together and settles in a kind of resolute way. And then you reach a point of decisiveness. That's got to be what comes. But I didn't realise just how long it could take to get there. And I'm not willing to wait this length of time to get to the point where that's what I'm now thinking. And then when I actually get there, I'm telling myself that it's not going to be worth the wait anyway. So what would have been the point? But there really is no alternative to this. It's the process of being alive. So it's like, if you don't want that, then you don't want to be alive. And obviously I want to be alive. I say obviously, but I guess it's not obvious. I don't know. There has to be some understanding that these like perceptual states of how it is and what exists are temporary, and they're not actually real, even though they appear completely real. But that's because you've tricked yourself into not seeing what is extra to that, and it's what is extra to that that is not that makes all of that completely different. And then you don't have to think in that way of even questioning what you're doing, because what is there to question? You can't question what you're doing when you're doing without any ability to think. So you reach a place where there's no ability to think. That's when choices happen. That's when action takes place. But until then, you have to work through all the thoughts until they've run out, until you've exhausted them all, until there's nothing left. And it seems like that's a recurring pattern that takes place, is that you reach a point where you go, there's nothing left, and then very quickly again, there's more. So it's like another round. And yeah, like that's definitely the way it is, and that's not to be something that's like looked down upon as being anything other than just a factual statement. So at that point, and if you know that whatever it is that you see that you don't like is not going to be like that for more than a short amount of time before that now becomes much better or completely different, then you're not like thinking anything about the way that that is or the way that that seems to be, because that's not the way that that is. It is just the way that that seems to be, and the way that it seems to be is not the way it is, and the way it is can be anything, and it can be everything, and it can be one thing 1 second and another the next. And to not know that makes you quite stupid. That's what makes people so difficult to actually exist around, is when they have a fixed idea of what it is that they think about all that it is that surrounds them, that they see, the way they interpret all that information. And when they interpret that incorrectly, they make it into something that it's not. And that means it's unpleasant. And then they're at odds with that. Instead of thinking, well, it looks like that, but it's not that. And it's not going to be that anymore, because it doesn't have to be that. And I can make it what I want it to be, so that it's not what I think it is. So that's the trick. It's the trick of the mind. And it means nothing, really. But you have to do that in order to make it all better. There's no real way around that. So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I've got more talking to do. I don't need any kind of thing to make me happy. I really don't. I think I could just find that anyway, without working in any kind of way to make anything or get anything or go anywhere. So yeah, I may have run out of things to say. But I don't think going next door and getting some cheese is gonna yeah, man. I'm just thinking about this guy. He's not very smart. Anyway, so yeah, I guess what I should do, if anything, is say something interesting. What's interesting? I don't know. I have nothing interesting to say. I don't want to say anything interesting. Why would I want to do that? I don't know what to do. I really don't. I think I'll probably go buy some beers next door. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go buy some beers. Orange Boom Premium Lager Beer, 3.4% alcohol. Only $3.99 for 4 cans. So it's like £1 per can. That's pretty good. So yeah, that was not a bad little trip out to the shop. I mean, the shop is really close to my house. So it's pretty easy. I don't know if I should go out again. I like it out there, but I also really don't. Yeah, I also really don't like it. Especially like as soon as I got out the door. Just don't like it. So I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll just do nothing. It's not good though, is it, just doing nothing? I don't like it. I want to go out really, even with all of what goes on out there. And the people, and they're not good people at all. They're really not. I don't want to have to be anywhere near them whatsoever, but what else am I going to do? Just stay in. I'm not really giving them what they want in any way. But I'm not really considering what they want in any way, because they're not allowed to have an opinion on me. I mean, they obviously think that they are, but not from me. And it's like the most important person in regards to me is me. I'm not saying I'm the most important person, so don't misquote me on that. What I said, if you think about it and repeat it slowly and actually engage your brain cells, is I said, the most important person to me is me. So, yeah, that's not quite the way that you might have thought that was. So, yeah, people outside, not great, not very nice. I don't want to see them, but I want to get away from all of this same kind of stuff all here. It's all good. It's just that it's just those people, even from a distance of what they sort of just send my way, you know, on like the psychic waves. It's not good stuff at all. It's really, really not. And they really need to know that. And they really need to think about that. They really need to try and actually improve the way they're living. To incorporate other people into their experience in like a pleasant way, you know, instead of the way they do it. I don't like whatever's going on in their heads is just so bizarre by anyone's standards that it gets so complicated to even explain because of how do you even rationalize what is so like mental. I can only see it as like they have no option within themselves as to what they should do, how they should be, who they are. And so they're just being controlled by all of these things. I mean, it's not good at all when you realize that, and you know that, and you can see that so clearly, and it's so obvious. Then you just end up thinking, well, that's what they do. That's what they're like. They're not very pleasant. That's why nobody really enjoys being around them. They don't really contribute anything to culture, local culture, or just culture in general, or a culture of giving and sharing and looking after each other. They're not contributing to that. I think it's because they just don't have the ability to do that. Like they haven't found that within themselves a way to be that kind of person, to be a good person. They have no idea how to be a good person. And so that explains why they're not. So I could go out and it would be pretty good, but I'm not going to do that because I have no reason to really want to be going out, walking around on my own as if that's any fun or any entertainment, or if that's in any way good for me at all. I mean, it definitely is good for me. I'm most certainly aware that is the case. I'm much better off to be going out and being in the world while I'm actually able to do that at my age and everything. Because there's probably going to be a point where that's not even a possibility. So I really don't want to, surrender my ability to choose what it is that I do, whilst I still have the options available. So, yeah, changed my mind again. I will be going out very soon when I've had these beers. I guess a couple of them. I guess I'll have a couple of beers and then I'll go out and I'll just head just casually out for just a walk. Obviously, it's okay to do that. I'm not even sure why I'm having to try to convince anyone that that is obviously true when it obviously is. But I think it's just those people that have got all these ideas about what is good and what's not, and they're really not even sure themselves. But they act like they know. But they're really not even slightly open-minded. So it's quite odd to think that people who have no idea what they're talking about are totally convinced as to how they know everything when they don't. They don't know everything. They know little bits and pieces of things about whatever, and they have opinions and everything. But obviously, to know something as a fact is not the same as to have an opinion. Having an opinion means knowing that this is your personal perspective, and that others have varying perspectives, and that's all okay because that's what opinions are. But you don't then treat you don't treat opinions as if they're factual statements. That's thinking that your opinion is right. There's no such thing as a right opinion. Your opinion is neither right nor is it anything else. It's dependent on contextual experience. So how could that be right? It doesn't exist within the realm of correct and incorrect. So you can't think of them as being that way. There's no value in that. No one is going to appreciate your thinking that your opinion is equal to a statement of fact when it isn't. And I feel like I'm really genuinely stating I'm saying the most obvious thing ever. And it shocks me to think that there would probably be people that would attempt to disagree with what I'm saying about their opinions not being factual statements. If you don't know the difference between the two, you really need to go away and think about that. And then come back and talk to me when you've actually figured it out. Otherwise, I'd just be wasting my time. It is really a bit of a waste of time even talking to certain people. And so when they question like why I choose not to talk to them, that would really be why is that they're not nice people. That's all it is really. If they were nice, I would talk to them. If they were polite, if they were courteous, if they were respectful, then I would talk to them. But they're not, so I don't. And I don't have to. And a big part of what makes them not nice people is them thinking for some reason that I should have to. If you're thinking that for any reason you should be able to force other people to do anything, that's the clear and obvious evidence that you're not a very nice person. Just think about that. If you're trying to force somebody to do something they don't want to, is it a fault with them or is it a fault with you? I'll give you a clue. It's a fault with you. You don't need to try to make anyone do anything. You might want to make an effort to try to attempt to convince them, but there's no guarantee that you will. And you have to accept when they say they don't want to do something that that's their choice, and then it has nothing to do with you. So it's quite easy to turn around any situation that you're in or that you imagine that exists, even though it doesn't, into something else completely, meaning that you can make it out of that situation, or you can make it look differently to how it is in a way that makes everybody think that's okay. And that's not because it's not okay and you're just lying. That's because it is okay, and you're just showing people how when they can't see that so clearly. It's quite a straightforward process. It's quite simple to explain things. It's not hard. People are generally quite receptive. If they're not, then they just have to listen. I mean, there's no other options. You have to listen to people, all the time, whether you want to or not. You have to, because what else are you going to do? You don't get a choice as to whether your ears are open or closed. You don't get a choice as to whether your eyes are open. I mean, you do get choices whether your eyes are open or closed, I guess. But you can't close your ears, can you? So, if you're hearing something, that means you have to listen to that. So, if there's people around you talking, and you're listening to that, that's all it takes. Listen some more. Listen some more, and then present an idea that changes the whole situation, makes it all better, in one word. Simple. That's it. Takes no more than that. There's nothing else you really need. There's no idea you need more than that. Why would you need more than that? It shouldn't be difficult, should it? So stick to that. Easy, simple. One word at a time. That's all you need. Nothing more, nothing less. Alright, so I'm still on beer 1. Working my way through that beverage. It's not work, is it? I'm not going to say that anymore. I don't like saying that. I'm not going out, but I'm not letting anyone tell me that I'm not going out. That's not what's going on. It's not anything. I'm not explaining anything. I will go out at some point. Of course, because it's good to do so. But again, I'm not doing that because of anyone. Definitely not. No. People that think that are just so so weird. Ah, well, whatever. So yeah, all this mental stuff. I'm not okay with any of that really, but what do you do? Take it out. And then just go back to just doing whatever you want. I mean, but not in that way. In a way that's like thinking, I don't know. All right. So now, as the video continues, you get to see me fall apart and then put myself back together again. So it's not this over exaggerated heartbreaking thing, it's just what everyone's doing, except I've just got it on video. That's the only difference. And if you don't know that that's you, then you just have to wait until you find out that it is. That's all. It's not complicated. It's very straightforward. You just don't know how it all works. You might think you do, but you're an idiot. Sorry to let you know that. You are a fucking moron. And you have no idea just how stupid you are. But don't worry, you'll find out very soon. Good luck with that. I'm alright now. I'm looking forward to getting away from this place. Because of the way that it all is. Just so incredibly positive. Like, it's just too good. To the point where I don't want to be here. That's not true. It is so very good, obviously. And it's only getting better. That's not true. Why can't people just see that? It's so simple. It's so simple. And you don't even know. How could that be true? Well, it is. So, I could go out. It's not going to be interesting. You're not going to want to watch it. I'm still talking about the same thing. I've been talking about the same thing for much too long. And for that reason, I'm going to stop. But I'm not going to stop talking to this camera because this is now all I have, really. I mean, it's not, obviously. Not in that way that you're interpreting that and making that into something that it's not. It's not that. Obviously, it's not that. This is, for me, a great thing. And it's not that. It's that either. But to think of it in that way means not to look at all the other parts to it that are really stopping me from doing anything else. And that's not good. I mean, I think it is, you know, to me, all right by my personal standards. So I don't particularly care to think of that any differently. But now that I'm in the habit of doing this, it's going to be what you see more and more of. It's not going to go away. It's going to transform into something bigger and better. It's going to get more and more, and it's going to keep going. I'm telling you that for a fact, because I'm not stopping. Like, at this point, I'm unstoppable. And whatever these people think about how they will be able to, like, make me feel some kind of way, it's just not true. They have no ability to do that. It's just going to completely backfire on them, and it's not going to work out for them at all. Because I'm just going to keep continuing on with what I'm doing. And I'm not going to care about what they have to say about that, because they're not very reasonable people. They're not very rational. And like I said, they're not very nice. So it's what I said the other day about, if you don't care about me, don't expect me to care about your opinion about me when you have one. You know, you care about the opinions of the people who care about you. That's it. Why would you possibly listen to anybody else's? It's the demonic drive to attempt to steal a little piece of your soul by upsetting you with their torturous attempts. I mean, it's not gonna work on me. I'm so sorry to inform you that you're gonna try and you're gonna fail to bother me or upset me. But yeah, that's just true. I'm a bit too resilient for that. I'm made of stronger stuff. So you can make your comments and everything, and it's okay with me. I'll be just alright. In fact, I'll be more than alright. I'll be fucking great. So try all you like. You want to see some success. You don't want to see success, I'll tell you now. Because it's going to turn around very quickly, and it's going to put you into a place that you don't want to be. And then you're going to have to say, okay, I'm going to have to start trying to actually be a good person, instead of thinking there's anything cool about what I'm currently doing when there clearly isn't. So, yeah, you think it's ha 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 sad for me. It's ha ha ha, I'm not even in the equation, sad for you. That's what you have to deal with. Sorry, mate. Sorry. What else am I supposed to say? I'm not going to be around for you to get to feel any sort of sense of pleasure over your demonic urges. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in a much, much better place. Far, far away from you. And then I'm not even going to think of you again. Not even one time. Like in the whole rest of my entire life, I won't think of you even one time. I mean, maybe I will. But the point is that you're not quite as important to me as you think you are. And I'm really not as like affected as you think I am. But the fact that you like me to be affected is all the proof that I need, all the evidence to show that you are actually just a psychopathic, demonic person who needs, what, exorcism? Yeah, probably that's what you need. You need exercise, mate. I'm not going to go out. I'm not being lazy. I'm just making a choice to
not do that. I went out to the shop. That was enough, really. I'll go out tomorrow when it's light, when it's looking good, when I'm more motivated again, when I'm not feeling like I do at the moment. I'm not feeling so great. It's just these fluctuating states where it's hard to settle on a thought or a feeling. It's not hard, it's just that it's not possible. So I keep finding myself feeling like my whole inner world is just twisting and turning. And it's good to know that's what's happening. But I also have to keep telling myself, like, that's not me, you know? So I can get out of it. Because that's not me. It's just what I'm thinking. Just what I'm feeling. It's not even what I'm feeling, it's just what I think I'm feeling. So, because I can see that, it's not so bad. And knowing that stops that from taking control. Takes me out of that equation. So I can just be okay looking at all that, thinking that's not me, that's there, that's what that is, that's not me. So what am I going to do? Nothing. Just look at all that. What do I have to do apart from that? How could it not be quite so clear to me? If I'm the one that can see that. If it's not clear to me, who's it clear to? I have to be able to think like that in order to be able to continue. Without thinking like that, without being free to think like that, then what can I do? That's not a choice. Like you seem to think there's, for some reason, a decision-making process involved, which there isn't. So that's incorrect. You are not correct about that. There's no process. There's no choice. You might think there is and say, you know, the response to that would probably be like, well, you think there isn't, but there is. But it's like this: you think there is, but there isn't. And it's just that. There's, what are you going to do about that? That's what that is. It's a mix of that. there's no stopping these mixes, and you're not right. Thinking you're right is not what makes you right. There is no right. I will eventually get around to doing what it is that I want to do, but not now.
I ain't got fuck all else to say. I feel like today's video has been rubbish, but whatever. I'll be back again tomorrow for more rubbish.